Parents and students across Florida could be in for a big surprise. It's called Senate Bill 86, and if passed, it would significantly reduce college tuition assistance for many students. And big government would decide which degrees to support, and it would give the legislature the power to gut bright future scholarships. This Senate Bill 86, which may be easy to remember because it happens to carry the same code that bars and restaurants use when referring to something they're out of or need to get rid of, as in we need to 86 the rotten fish, is sponsored by State Senator Dennis Baxley, shown here in an old clip that may fit with the times.
And that sometimes we come up here and pass too much.
Check out this section. It strikes out the part about Bright Futures covering 100% of tuition, or 75% for medallion scholars, and replaces it with an amount specified in general appropriations, meaning whatever the legislature wants. And if they decide to defund it, it's first come, first serve. And it would also reduce financial aid for students who pursue degrees that state officials frown upon. The Board of Governors and State Board of Education would decide which jobs are currently in high demand and offer the full aid to students who pursue degrees in those fields and reduce it for students who pursue other degrees. They'd lose out on grounds their classes don't prepare them for jobs that are in demand, though demand does change. Had they passed this years ago, they might have steered many more students into careers as switchboard operators, or typesetters, or encyclopedia sales reps.
Look at all this great stuff.
And beyond that, it would put state officials in the position of rewarding some students and punishing others based on those students' own talents and dreams, and the state officials' own subjective decisions of which degrees lead directly to jobs.
It's big government, and it's so deeply inappropriate when it comes to a student's deserving of bright futures.
It's a good bet political science majors and history, arts, and English and sociology majors are among the many who would lose out on this, and those who pursue jobs in nursing, healthcare, and technical trades would not.
Lawmakers should not be dictating what type of access to higher education our students should have. And the irony about this too is that my colleagues who are proposing this legislation often tout values of freedom.
Liberty! Liberty!
But here we are completely taking away the freedom to decide what your academic pursuit should be in a state college supported by a scholarship that's based on academic merit.
Critics say the state would likely devalue and potentially discourage the next generation of aspiring poets and writers and the next generation of musicians and performing artists and business leaders who might contribute more to the state's economy than those state officials may think.
How is a student going to even be an entrepreneur if they're not allowed to pursue the degree that they want to, which could yield to the best new idea?
For example, before she ran Hewlett-Packard, Carly Fiorina majored in history and philosophy, and she said it prepared her for life by teaching her how to condense a whole lot of information down to the essence. A thought process, she said, has served her well. Michael Eisner majored in English literature and theater before he led Walt Disney Company. John Hamm said he depended on financial aid before he taught the world to sing. And even tuition assistance for political science majors can pay off in ways that don't show up in the current job postings. With all this in mind, you may think this bill is just one of many that get attention for being provocative with no real chance of passing. Remember the vintage quote from its sponsor.
Sometimes we come up here and pass too much.
But this bill is different. The Senate President's office issued the press release with quotes from the Senate President promoting it, and the House Speaker called for similar reforms to a standing ovation in the House.
And while our public universities should offer a full range of degree options, it does not follow that we should subsidize every degree to the same degree.
By the way, in that same speech, he also mused about how he's often wrong about stuff.
And I'm reminded of that lesson every time my wife, Shannon, tells me that I'm wrong about something. Those of you who spend time with us know that happens pretty often, and she's almost always right.
To his credit, that appears to be the Speaker's way of showing humility and noting he can be persuadable in thoughtful and honest debate.
I don't stand up here today because I know all the right questions to ask or because I have all the right answers. I know that I don't.
Let's hope he and his fellow lawmakers take that to heart as they decide whether to order or 86. The Senate Bill 86.